My mother needs a husband. She cries herself to sleep every night since Dad left. Adi sat quietly in the small dark room, staring at the ceiling. The sound came again, soft but painful. His mother was crying. She thought he was asleep. She thought her son could not hear. But every night he heard her. The boy pressed his hands against his ears, but it was no use. The sound of her broken heart filled the house. She tried to hide it during the day. She smiled at him, cooked food, and asked him about school. But at night, when the lights were off and the house was quiet, her tears returned. He hated those nights. He hated the sound of her pain. It had been 1 year since his father left. Everyone in the town whispered that the father was gone forever. Some said he ran away. Some said he found another family, but the boy refused to believe it. His father loved them. He loved his mother. He loved him. He would never leave without a reason. The boy remembered his father's voice. "Take care of your mother. Be strong." Those were his last words before he disappeared. Not a goodbye, not a farewell, just a warning. His mother never spoke of it. She told people her husband had left. She told her son not to think about it too much. Life must go on, she said, but he saw the truth in her eyes. She was not angry at his father. She was afraid. One night, unable to sleep, the boy walked to the kitchen. The moonlight shone through the window. His mother sat at the table, her face in her hands. In front of her was an old photo of his father. She whispered, "I can't do this alone. I need you. I can't raise him without you." The boy's chest tightened. He wanted to step forward, hug her, tell her she was not alone. But something stopped him. A strange feeling, as if the air itself was heavy. He looked closer at the photo. His father's eyes in the picture seemed different, almost alive. That night he had a dream. In the dream, his father stood in the same kitchen holding the same photo. His face was worried. "They are watching," he whispered. "They will come for you too. Protect her. Protect yourself." Then the dream broke into shadows. The boy woke up sweating. His heart raced. He ran to his mother's room. She was asleep, the pillow wet with tears. He wanted to tell her about the dream, but the words froze in his throat. She would not believe him. She would just smile sadly and say, "It was only a dream." But deep inside, he knew it was more. The days passed slowly. School felt meaningless. Friends did not understand. They joked, laughed, and lived simple lives. But he carried a secret weight on his shoulders. Every night his mother cried. Every morning she smiled like nothing happened. And in his heart the dream of his father returned again and again. One evening, while cleaning the attic, he found an old box. Inside were some of his father's things, books, papers, and a strange black device. It looked like a radio, but smaller, heavier. Dust covered it, but when he touched it, a light blinked. He froze. The device came alive with a soft hum. Then through the static, a voice broke out, not clear but enough to chill his blood. "Watching, not safe. Trust no one." It was his father's voice. His hand shook. He dropped the device. The sound vanished, but the message remained burned into his mind. His father was alive. He was not gone. Something had taken him. Something was hiding the truth. The boy stared at the device, his heart pounding. He wanted to run to his mother to tell her everything. But then he remembered her tired face, her sleepless eyes, her whispered words. "I need a husband. I can't do this alone." If he told her now, would she break even more? Or would she finally believe him? He sat on the attic floor, clutching the device, listening to the faint hum. For the first time in a year, he felt something stronger than fear. Hope. And with that hope came a promise. He would find the truth. He would bring his father back. And he would stop the tears that haunted his mother every night. But as he held the device close, he did not notice the small red light glowing on its side. A signal, a beacon. Somewhere far beyond the stars, someone or something now knew the boy had discovered the truth, and they were already watching. The attic felt colder after that night. The boy could not stop thinking about the strange device. Every time he closed his eyes, he heard his father's broken words through the static. Not safe. Trust no one. He kept the device hidden under his bed. He didn't tell his mother. She already carried too much pain. He decided he would solve this mystery alone. During the day, he tried to act normal. He ate breakfast, went to school, and listened when his mother asked about homework. But his mind was never at peace. At night, when the house was quiet, he would pull the device out and press the small button on the side. Sometimes it stayed silent. Sometimes it made a faint hum. And sometimes, only for a few seconds, his father's voice broke through. Listen. They watching. Dangerous. Static swallowed the rest. But those broken words were enough to send chills down his spine. One evening, as rain tapped against the window, the boy sat with the device in his hands. He pressed the button again and again, desperate for more. Suddenly, the attic bulb flickered. The air grew heavy. And then he heard it, clearer than before. Son, if you hear this, I am alive, but I am not free. The boy's heart almost stopped. His father's voice was real, strong, and full of fear. They took me, not humans. You must protect your mother. They will come again. They want us because of who we are. Don't let them. The message cut off. The device went dark. The boy sat frozen, his hands shaking. The words echoed in his mind. Not humans. Who were they? Why did they want his father? And why did they see humans as special? Later that night, he went to the kitchen. His mother was there, staring out the window with a cup of cold tea. Her face looked tired, older than it should. He wanted to tell her, but something held him back. He studied her eyes. They carried a secret pain, like she knew more than she ever told him. He thought about his father's warning, trust no one. Did that include his own mother? The thought hurt, but the fear was stronger, so he stayed quiet. The next day, after school, the boy went to the library. He searched through old records, local newspapers, anything that mentioned strange disappearances. At first, he found nothing but boring headlines about weather and politics. But then, deep in the archives, he found a forgotten article. Local man missing, last seen near government facility. The date matched the day his father disappeared. The article was short, almost careless. It said his father was presumed runaway, but the boy noticed something odd. The report mentioned restricted grounds and security breach. Why would a runaway be near a government lab? His hands tightened on the paper. His father hadn't left them. He had been taken. And not by humans. That night, the boy powered the device again. Static filled the room. Suddenly, a new sound broke through, not his father's voice this time, but a strange metallic whisper. Signal detected. Subject located. The boy dropped the device in horror. The whisper repeated, louder. Subject located. Prepare extraction. Panic raced through him. He pushed the device under the bed, his heart beating like a drum. Was it talking about him? Did they already know where he was? The next morning, he tried to act normal again. But he could not focus on school. His eyes kept darting to the windows, expecting shadows, expecting machines. His friends laughed at jokes he could not hear. To them, he was just quiet. But inside, he was screaming. When he came home, his mother was waiting. She held the old photo of his father in her hand. Her eyes were red, like she had been crying again. She looked at her son for a long time before speaking. You've changed, she said softly. You're hiding something. The boy froze. For a moment, he almost confessed everything. The device. The voice. The warning. But then his father's last words echoed in his mind. Trust no one. He shook his head quickly. I'm fine, Mom. Her lips trembled, but she said nothing more. That night, the boy could not sleep. He turned the device on again, praying for his father's voice. Instead, the metallic whisper returned. Extraction team dispatched. The boy's blood ran cold. He ran to the window. The night was silent, but in the distance, above the trees, he saw something moving. Lights, not airplanes, not helicopters. Something stranger, glowing white against the stars. He pressed his face against the glass. His breath fogged the window. The lights grew larger, closer, descending slowly. The boy stumbled back, his heart pounding. He grabbed the device, ready to smash it to pieces to stop the signal. But just before he did, another voice came through. Son, run. It was his father again, desperate, afraid. The boy dropped the device. He looked at the door, then at his mother's room. Should he wake her? Should he tell her? Or should he run like his father said? The sound outside grew louder, a deep hum that shook the walls. The lights were now right above the house. For the first time in his life, the boy felt truly hunted, and he knew. His father's warning was real. The enemy was already here. The house was silent, but the boy could not sleep. His body shook with fear after what he had seen in the sky. The lights had hovered above the trees, and then, just as suddenly, they were gone. No one else seemed to notice. His mother slept peacefully, as if nothing had happened. But he knew better. He had heard the warning. Extraction team dispatched. "Son, run!" The words rang in his ears like a bell that never stopped. He sat at the edge of his bed, staring at the strange device. The small red light was gone now, but he knew if he pressed the button again they would hear him. They would track him. Still, he could not destroy it. It was his only link to his father. The next morning, his mother prepared breakfast. She hummed softly, but the tune broke halfway, like her heart wasn't in it. He wanted to tell her everything, the lights, the signal, the voices. But the memory of his father's last warning stopped him. Trust no one. So he ate in silence. At school, things felt even worse. The laughter of his classmates sounded distant, almost unreal. The teachers' voices blurred. He sat at the back, his eyes locked on the window. Every shadow outside made him tense. Every plane overhead made him flinch. That afternoon, while walking home, he made a decision. If the answers would not come to him, he would find them. He remembered the article he had read at the library, the one about his father disappearing near a government facility. Maybe the truth was hidden there. By evening, he was already planning. He found an old flashlight, stuffed some food into his backpack, and waited until his mother went to bed. Her door closed. The house grew quiet and the boy slipped out. The night was cold. His breath rose in clouds as he walked. The streets were empty, the only sound the crunch of gravel under his shoes. He moved quickly, afraid someone might stop him. The facility was far, beyond the edge of town, surrounded by a wire fence and warning signs. No trespassing. Restricted area. But the boy didn't care. He had to know what they were hiding. The closer he got, the stranger things felt. The air around the facility buzzed faintly like invisible electricity. The boy's skin prickled. He ducked behind a tree and waited. No guards, no cameras. Too quiet. He found a gap in the fence where the wires had bent. Heart pounding, he crawled through. His backpack snagged for a moment, but he pulled hard and slipped free. Inside, the ground was covered with weeds. The building itself looked abandoned. Broken windows, peeling paint, doors chained shut. But the boy felt it in his bones. This place was not dead. It was hiding something. He tried one door. Locked. Another. Also locked. Finally, he found a rusted grate near the ground, just big enough to crawl through. He pushed it open, the metal screaming against the silence. Then, on hands and knees, he entered. Inside was a tunnel. Dust filled his throat and the smell of old metal burned his nose. He crawled forward, the flashlight shaking in his hand. For a long time there was only darkness. Then, voices. The boy froze. He switched off the flashlight and pressed himself against the wall. Two men walked past at the end of the tunnel, their words echoing. Transfer schedule, they want more subjects. Humans only. Nothing else survives the tests. The boy's heart hammered. He could barely breathe. Humans? Tests? Subjects? Were they talking about his father? When the voices faded, he crept forward until he reached a grate above him. Carefully he peered through. What he saw nearly made him gasp. The room beyond was huge, filled with machines that glowed with strange blue light. Giant tubes lined the walls, and inside some of them, figures. Human figures. Some were asleep. Some were awake, banging against the glass, faces twisted with terror. His stomach churned. His father wasn't the only one. There were others, men and women, even children, trapped like animals. At the center of the room stood something that was not human, tall with skin like polished stone and eyes that burned white. It moved with slow, perfect precision, touching the machines as if it controlled them all. The boy's throat went dry. He wanted to run, to scream, but he forced himself to stay silent. The creature turned its head and for a moment its glowing eyes looked directly at the grate where he hid. His heart stopped. Did it see him? But then the creature turned away. The boy backed away from the grate, his body trembling. He knew now. His father hadn't left. He had been taken here to this place by something beyond human. And worse, they weren't stopping. They were collecting more. He crawled back through the tunnel, out of the grate, and into the cold night air. His chest heaved, his head spun. For the first time, he understood the truth. Humans were being hunted. When he returned home, the sky was already pale with dawn. His mother was still asleep, her face soft in the morning light. For a moment, he just watched her, the pain in her eyes hidden by dreams. He clenched his fists. No more silence. No more waiting. If his father was alive, he would find him. If humans were being hunted, he would fight back. He didn't know how. He didn't know when. But the journey had already begun. And somewhere deep inside him, fear gave way to something new. Determination. The boy could not forget what he had seen inside the facility. The glowing machines, the humans trapped in tubes, the tall creature with burning eyes. It followed him into every dream, every shadow. For 2 days he barely spoke. His mother noticed. She watched him closely, her eyes sharp even behind her tired smile. One evening as they sat at the dinner table, she placed her spoon down and looked at him. "You're hiding something," she said softly. The boy froze. He wanted to deny it, but her voice was too steady, too certain. "You've been slipping out at night. You're not the same anymore. Tell me, what did you see?" His chest tightened. Should he tell her? His father's warning echoed in his mind. Trust no one. But the weight of the truth was too heavy. He couldn't carry it alone anymore, so he told her. Slowly, carefully, he explained everything. The device, the voice, the lights in the sky, the government facility, the tubes filled with humans, and the creature that was not human at all. When he finished, he expected her to laugh or to cry or to tell him it was just his imagination. Instead, her face went pale. Her hands shook. She whispered, "You weren't supposed to know." The boy blinked. "What do you mean?" His mother stood up and walked to the cupboard. From behind a stack of old blankets, she pulled out a metal box. She set it on the table and unlocked it with a small key she wore on a chain around her neck. Inside were papers, photographs, and strange objects he had never seen before. Symbols burned into metal plates, charts of stars, images of machines that looked like the ones in the facility. His heart raced. "What is all this?" She sat back down, her face heavy with secrets. "Your father and I, we were part of something before you were born. A project. It was supposed to be about communication, contact with something beyond Earth. At first it was exciting. We thought we were making history, but then we realized the truth. They weren't interested in talking. They were studying us, testing us." The boy's skin prickled. "The creatures I saw," she nodded slowly. "Yes, them. They came before, silent, watching. Then people started to disappear. We tried to warn others, but no one believed us. Your father never stopped fighting. That's why they took him." Her voice broke, but she forced herself to continue. "And that's why I cry at night. Not only because I miss him, but because I know what is coming. They will return. And this time, they will not hide." The boy stared at her, his world spinning. All this time she had known. While he searched for answers, she had kept the truth locked away. "Why didn't you tell me?" His voice shook with anger, her eyes filled with tears. "Because I wanted to protect you. You're only a child. I thought, if you lived a normal life for a little longer, maybe it would spare you from this." He slammed his hand on the table. "But I'm not safe. None of us are safe. I saw them, Mom. They know about me. They're coming for us." The room went silent. Only the ticking of the old clock filled the space. Then she reached across the table and took his hand. Her grip was strong, stronger than he had ever felt before. "Then we fight," she said. That night she showed him more. From the box, she pulled out a device, sleek black with glowing lines across its surface. "Your father built this," she explained. "It's not a weapon, not exactly, it's a key. It can unlock the frequency they use to track us. With it, we might send them a message. Or hide from them." The boy touched it carefully. It vibrated under his fingers, alive in some strange way. "Why didn't you use it before?" he asked. She looked at the floor. "Because I was afraid. Afraid that if I turned it on, they would find us faster. But now they already know." The boy nodded. His fear was still there, but alongside it, something new was growing. Courage. Later, when his mother finally slept, he sat awake in the dark, staring at the device. His father had built it. His mother had hidden it. And now it was in his hands. He whispered to himself, "I will bring him back. I will stop them." But deep down he knew the truth. He was only at the beginning. The creatures were stronger, smarter, and far older than humans. His father was lost somewhere in their machines. His mother carried secrets she had not yet shared, and outside, beyond the quiet streets, the stars watched silently, waiting. In the morning he woke to find his mother already at the table, the box of secrets open again. Her eyes were red, but her voice was steady. "If we're going to survive," she said, "you must learn everything. Everything about them. Everything about us. This is no longer just about your father. This is about humanity." The boy sat down, his heart pounding. His journey had started with grief and fear. Now it was changing into something larger, something that could decide the fate of everyone. And for the first time, he saw his mother not as someone broken by pain, but as someone strong, someone carrying knowledge that might save them all. The secret was out. The fight was no longer his alone. The boy had thought nightmares belonged only to the night. But now, even in daylight, he felt them pressing against his skin. The strange device from his father sat on the table, glowing faintly as if alive. His mother whispered over it, her hands shaking but her eyes sharp. "They'll come soon," she said. "The moment they know we're ready, they'll show themselves." The boy swallowed hard. He wanted to be brave, but the memory of the tall figure with burning eyes haunted him. He could still see the humans trapped in glass tubes, still hear their fists pounding against the walls. That evening, the house grew quiet. His mother worked in the kitchen. He sat in his room, staring at the window, waiting. The world outside looked normal. The neighbor's dog barked. Cars passed. The wind blew softly through the trees. But underneath there was a strange stillness, like the calm before a storm. Then the lights returned. At first only faint dots above the trees. Then brighter, then larger. They hovered in the sky like silent stars that refused to move. The boy's breath caught. He ran to his mother. "They're here!" She rushed to the window. Her face went pale, but she did not scream. Instead, she pulled him close. "Listen to me. Whatever happens, stay near me. Don't run alone." The ground trembled. A low hum filled the air, so deep it shook their bones. Outside, the lights descended, bathing the yard in a cold white glow. Then it happened. The shadows stretched, twisted, and from the light stepped 3 figures. Tall. Too tall. Their skin smooth like stone, their faces long and sharp. Their eyes glowed white, burning without fire. The boy's knees went weak. He clung to his mother's arm. One of the beings stepped forward. Its movements were slow, perfect, like a machine. Its voice, when it spoke, was a strange mix of metal and whispers. Human subjects detected. "Prepare transfer." The boy's heart pounded. This was no dream. This was real. His mother stood firm, though her hands trembled. She held the device his father built, clutching it tight. "You will not take him," she said, her voice louder than her fear. The creature tilted its head, studying her like an insect. Then it raised its hand. A beam of pale light shot toward them. The boy screamed, but before the light touched them, his mother pressed the device. It burst with blue energy, a sharp pulse that cracked through the air like thunder. The beam shattered. The creatures staggered back, their eyes flickering. The boy stared in shock. It worked. His mother didn't answer. She pulled him by the arm. "Run!" They bolted through the back door and into the trees behind the house. The night air was sharp in their lungs. The boy stumbled but kept moving, the glow of the alien lights chasing them through the branches. Behind them, the beings moved. They did not run. They floated, their feet barely touching the ground, their eyes blazing like searchlights. "Faster!" his mother cried. The boy's legs burned. His chest felt like it might explode. But he pushed harder, following her into the dark woods. Then the hum grew louder. A blinding light swept across the trees, cutting through shadows like a knife. The boy tripped. He fell hard, the earth knocking the breath out of him. His mother spun around, pulling him up just as the beam passed inches from their bodies. The tree beside them exploded into dust. "They're trying to trap us," she gasped. They reached an old shed hidden deep in the woods. His mother shoved him inside and slammed the door. She pressed the device again, and the walls of the shed glowed faintly with a blue shimmer. "What's happening?" the boy whispered, trembling. She caught her breath. "Your father designed this too. It's a shield. They can't see us while it's active, but it won't last long." Outside, the hum grew louder. Shadows passed by the small cracks in the wood. The boy held his breath. He could hear them. Metallic whispers, strange clicks, words in a language he didn't understand. One voice broke through the static. "Subject not detected. Shield interference. Increase scan." The shed shook as the light washed over it, but the shimmer held. The boy buried his face in his mother's arms. He wanted to disappear, but then he remembered his father's voice. "Be strong. Protect her." He clenched his fists. He was afraid, but he would not let them take her. Not again. Minutes passed. Finally, the light faded. The hum grew distant. The shadows moved away. His mother slumped against the wall, her body trembling. The boy looked at her face. She was exhausted, but her eyes still burned with fire. "They know," she whispered. "They know about us now. We can't stay here anymore." The boy nodded, though fear twisted his stomach. The house was no longer safe. The town was no longer safe. The creatures were real, and they were hunting. He thought of the humans trapped in glass tubes. He thought of his father, lost somewhere in their machines. And he knew, running would not be enough. They had revealed themselves. And now, the fight had truly begun. The shed was dark and cold. The boy sat on the floor, his back against the wooden wall, listening to the silence outside. His mother held the strange device close, its blue light fading. "The shield was dying. They'll come back," she whispered. "We only delayed them." The boy nodded, his hands shaking. Fear was there, heavy like a stone, but another feeling was growing inside him too, something new. Not just fear, not just anger, something stronger. Courage. He remembered the humans in glass tubes, their fists pounding, their mouths open in silent screams. He remembered his father's voice through the static. "Be strong. Protect her." And he realized something. Those creatures might have the power, the machines, the glowing eyes. But they didn't understand what it meant to be human. Humans fought for each other. Humans fought for love. That was their strength. When morning came, the boy and his mother slipped out of the shed. The town was quiet, almost too quiet. No one knew what had happened in the night. People walked their dogs, children rode their bikes, cars passed on the street. Life looked normal, but above them, far away in the sky, something watched. He could feel it. His mother placed a hand on his shoulder. "We can't run anymore. If they know about us, they'll come again. We need to be ready." The boy looked at her. For the first time, he didn't just see a mother broken by grief. He saw a fighter, and he decided he would fight too. That evening, he went back to the attic. He pulled out the strange device again, the one that first carried his father's voice. He studied it carefully. Wires, switches, glowing crystals that didn't look like anything human. His father must have mixed alien tech with his own. The boy turned it in his hands, searching for answers. Suddenly the hum returned, faint but steady. "Son," the boy froze. It was his father's voice again. Broken, weak but real. "Don't let them. They fear us. They fear what makes us human." Static swallowed the rest. But it was enough. Enough to spark an idea. If the aliens feared humanity, then there was a reason. If they feared human strength, human love, human unity, then maybe those things could be used as a weapon, not guns, not machines. Something greater. The next day, the boy made a choice. He told his best friend. For weeks he had kept silent, carrying the secret alone. But now he needed help. His friend laughed at first. "Aliens? You've been reading too many comics," but the boy didn't give up. He showed him the device, played the faint whispers of his father's voice. He described the facility, the tubes, the glowing creatures. Slowly, the laughter died. His friend's face turned pale. If this is real, what do we do? The boy looked at him with steady eyes. We fight. Not with guns. With proof. With truth. If we can show people what they're hiding, we won't be alone. And if we're not alone, they can't stop us. That night, the boys sneaked back to the edge of the facility. This time they carried a camera. The boy's mother had argued against it. It's too dangerous. But in the end, she didn't stop him. She knew this was bigger than just their family. Through the broken grate, the boy crawled inside again, his heart pounding. His friend followed, breathing fast. They reached the same spot as before. The giant room, the glowing machines, the humans trapped inside the tubes. The friend gasped, clapping a hand over his mouth to stop the sound. His eyes were wide with terror. The boy held the camera steady, filming everything. The machines, the captives, the alien figure moving with slow precision. Then the alien paused. Its glowing eyes turned, staring directly at them. The boy's heart stopped. Run, he whispered. They scrambled back through the tunnel, the camera clutched tight. Behind them, the hum of energy filled the air. The alien was coming. The boys burst out of the grate, sprinting across the weeds, the night filled with white light. Beams cut through the ground around them, exploding earth into dust. The boy's legs screamed with pain, but he didn't stop. His friend stumbled, but the boy grabbed his arm and pulled him forward. Together they dived through the fence gap, tumbling onto the road. Behind them, the facility glowed with white light, machines humming like thunder. But they had the proof. Back home, his mother watched the footage in silence. Tears filled her eyes, not from fear but from pride. Your father would be proud, she whispered. The boy nodded, clutching the camera. We can't hide this. People need to see. His mother looked at him. If you do this, they will come for us harder. They will come for everyone. The boy straightened his shoulders. His fear was still there, but it no longer ruled him. Then let them come. Humans don't give up. That's what makes us strong. That night he sat by the window staring at the stars. Somewhere out there, his father was still alive. Somewhere out there, the creatures were planning their next move, but for the first time, the boy didn't feel like prey. He felt like a fighter. He whispered to the sky as if his father could hear. We're not afraid anymore. We're human, and we will never bow. The stars seemed to flicker as if answering him, and deep in his chest the boy felt it. Humanity's strength was only beginning to rise. The boy did not sleep that night. The camera rested on the table, full of proof that no one could deny. The images of the facility, the glowing tubes, the humans trapped inside, they were burned into his mind. His friend had seen it too. His mother had seen it. Now the question was simple. Would anyone else believe? Morning came. The sun rose slowly, golden light spilling over the quiet town. But the boy felt no warmth. He knew the creatures were still out there, hidden above the clouds, waiting, watching. His mother made tea, her face pale but calm. She looked at him across the table. Once this truth is out, there's no going back. They will know we've shown the world. They will strike harder. The boy clenched his fists. Then let them. If everyone knows, we won't be alone anymore. His mother studied him. For a moment, she looked at him not as her child, but as something else. Something stronger, something becoming a leader. That afternoon, the boy and his friend shared the footage. They uploaded it, spread it to every screen they could. At first, people laughed. Some said it was fake, a trick, another internet story. But then the images spread further. Experts examined them. Journalists compared the glowing machines to strange sightings reported years ago. Survivors of disappearances came forward with stories that matched. Doubt turned to fear. Fear turned to anger. Within days, the town was no longer quiet. Groups of people gathered in the streets whispering about the videos. Soldiers were seen moving near the facility, trucks rolling in and out. Something was happening. The truth had cracked open and it could not be sealed again. That night, the boy stood at the window once more. His friend sat beside him, restless. His mother worked on the strange device, adjusting its glowing lines with steady hands. Then the hum returned. The air grew heavy. The stars above flickered. The boy grabbed the device. They're coming. The ground shook. A beam of white light cut through the sky, slamming into the trees beyond town. The air screamed with static. From the light stepped more of them. Not 3 this time. Not 4, dozens. Their eyes burned like fire. Their voices whispered in unison. Human resistance detected. Prepare assimilation. The boy's chest tightened. This was no longer a hunt for one family. This was war. He looked at his mother. She handed him the device. You are stronger than you know. Your father built this for a reason. Use it, the boy swallowed hard. But how? She gripped his shoulders, her eyes fierce. Not with fear, with will. That is what they don't understand. That is what they cannot control. He turned back to the window. The creatures marched, their light swallowing the streets. The town screamed in panic. Cars crashed. Dogs barked wildly. The boy pressed the device. Blue light burst outward, a wave of energy spreading across the town. For a moment, the creatures staggered, their perfect movements breaking. Their glowing eyes flickered, and then... It happened. A voice broke through the static. Clear, strong, familiar. Son. The boy froze. His heart nearly burst. Dad? Yes, the voice whispered, trembling but alive. I'm here. I've been fighting. They can't hold me forever. You've done well. You've made them fear you. The boy's eyes filled with tears. His mother gasped, covering her mouth. Where are you? The boy cried. In their world. Not far, but listen. You must keep fighting. Humans are not weak. Humans are what they fear most. Don't stop now. I will find you. The voice faded into static. But it was enough. He was alive outside. The aliens regrouped. Their whispers turned into roars. They raised their hands, beams of white fire cutting through buildings. The town shook with destruction. The boy held the device tighter. He turned to his mother and his friend. We can't run anymore. We fight, his mother nodded. His friend swallowed his fear and stood beside him. For the first time, the boy did not feel like a scared child. He felt like something else, like a spark. A beginning. The creatures marched closer, their shadows swallowing the street. But in the boy's chest burned something brighter than fear. He stepped forward, the device glowing in his hand. You think we are weak, he shouted into the night. But you don't understand. We fight for each other. We fight for love. And no matter what you do, we will never break. The creatures paused as if the words confused them. Their burning eyes flickered. The boy raised the device high. Blue light exploded across the night sky, stronger than before. It rippled like thunder, shaking the air, throwing the aliens back. For one moment, just one, the boy saw fear in their eyes. The town stood in ruins. The creatures were not gone, but they had been pushed back. The fight was far from over, but the boy knew something now. His father was alive. The truth was out, and humanity's strength was no longer hidden. He stood beside his mother and his friend, staring at the smoking horizon. The war had only begun. But he whispered, steady and fierce, "We are human, and we will never bow."